Hey everyone, in this video I will show you how you can use Power Automate to update or delete information from an Excel file. This can be one single row or multiple row altogether. Stay tuned. Hello everyone, I am Deepak Srivastav. Welcome to my channel. If you have subscribed to my channel already, you may have seen a video that I have created on Power Automate in Excel. In that video, I had already showed you how you can use Power Automate to dynamically create tables in Excel, read data from Excel and other information. If you have not watched that video, link will be in description. Please go ahead and watch it because we're going to continue on that video in today's video. So today's video is all about updating or deleting information from Excel. We have most of the time requirement where we need to update the information in Excel using Power Automate. So how you can use the Power Automate to update or delete information in an Excel. So I'm going to log into my flow.microsoft.com and create a new flow. For this video, I'm going to use the manual trigger flow. In your case or in your scenario, it can be a different trigger. The concept that we are going to learn is not going to depend on the type of trigger that you will use. Okay, I'm going to click on the new tab, search for Excel online. Okay, now once you select this particular connector, you will see all the different actions that we have available in Excel online. Today we are interested more on delete a row and update a row. Okay, so let me select update first and then we will look into the delete. Once you select this update row action, you have multiple options that you can provide. So let me select the location. It can be the OneDrive or SharePoint where my Excel file is stored. My Excel file is stored in my SharePoint here. This is my Excel that I'm going to use for this demonstration. If I open this Excel file, you can see the information. It's nothing but some data from different country and product. As you can see, very regular Excel. I'm going to select the document library and then I'm going to select the file. Okay, as you have already know, or if you don't know, if you are working with Excel in Power Automate, that Excel should have a table like I have in my Excel. So data is in a table. Okay, that's the number one requirement. Now if you are thinking that, oh, I need to work on Excel that doesn't have a table, how I can do it, my other video will help you to understand and how you can dynamically create the tables. I'm going to select the table here, and then here is the key information. You see these two value, key column and key value. So to update a row in Excel using Power Automate, you need to tell Power Automate that what is your key column. Key column is nothing but a column that will have a unique value, so that this particular action can find that particular row or those particular rows that you want to update. Okay, if your Excel is very well formatted, okay, and let's say you already have a column that is unique and you can use it, your life is very easy. You can go to the flow, click on this drop down and select that column. Okay, this is the key value, is the information that you need to pass to filter, right? So for example, in my case, let's say I wanted to update this particular row where ID is this. Okay, I'm going to copy it and paste it here. Now this information I'm hard coding, but this can be based on your trigger. If you are not using manually trigger flow, if you are using automated flow, maybe user is sending you information that, okay, update this information. You can use that also dynamically. And then I'm going to say, okay, I'm going to update the unit sold column to 500. Okay, so right now here the unit sold is 2852. Click save and run it. Good, right? So my flow got completed successfully. I can see the update row action has been done. If I go back to my Excel, this has been updated to 500. Very simple, right? But in normal scenario, this is not going to happen. What will happen though, that your Excel may not even have a unique column. Okay, Like in my case, though I use this ID column, but if you look at this ID column, it's not unique. I can see this 1 is repeating itself, 8 is repeating itself, 13 is repeating itself, right? So right now, I don't really have a unique column in my Excel. So how I can update it or maybe delete a particular information from Excel? So if you are in a scenario where you don't have a unique column in your Excel and you still want to use the Power Automate to update or delete the information from Excel, the first requirement that you have is to create a unique column. Now, unique column doesn't need to be necessary an ID column from 1, 2, 3 or some unique number. You can even create a unique column based on the combination of the different information that you are getting. Okay. So for example, let's say I'm going to give a name here. So this is my unique ID column. I can give any name. Okay. And then what I'm going to say, this column will have information. I'm going to just write a small function where I'm going to combine multiple columns together. So I will say concat this column, country column, and product column. So now if you look at this, I actually created my own unique column using the information that I'm already receiving. And I can use this column into my Excel. Still good. But we are not yet creating this column dynamically, right? So for an example, if you're creating a flow that whenever you receive this file or someone upload this file to a SharePoint document library or OneDrive, you want to go through the Excel and update it. And you don't want to create this column manually. So what you can do in that case, go to Automate and we're going to create a simple Office script. Now, if you want to know what is Office script and how you can use it, I have a link, another video that I've created. Okay. So I'm going to go to Automate, go to Record Action. Okay. Once you do that, you will see this right-hand panel where recording is on. Okay. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to repeat the same thing what I did. So I'm going to create a column UID. Okay. And go to the formula and click concat. This is how I'm creating my unique ID. So I'm going to say this column concat with country and concat with product. In your case, it can be different. Press enter. Okay. And I'm going to click on stop and I'm going to give a name. Okay. Now, good thing about Office script is I created this script on this Excel, but I can use it in any Excel. The only thing required is that it should have the same number of column. Otherwise, this column is going to create somewhere else. Okay. Now to test, I'm going to delete this column from here. Click on run. If my script has been recorded correctly, I can see all the column created. Awesome, right? Okay, I'm going to delete this for now. So my Office script is ready. That is going to create a dynamic unique column based on the information that I have set up. I'll go back to my flow, click on this plus icon, search for Excel Online, and there is an action called run script. I'm going to select that. Do the same thing. I'm going to search for my site, the document library where the file is going to store. File. And then in the script, because I have created that script, I should be able to see that script that I just created. I can click on ID script here. Now I can run the script from my Power Automate to this file. Okay. And let's try that. I'm going to click test, save and run. Okay. So flow completed successfully. And if I go to here in my list and if I refresh, I have the column created. So now if you notice what I did, using the Power Automate, I created a unique column that was never presented in my Excel. And now I can have this unique column that I can use to update or delete a particular row. Isn't it cool, right? Yes. So this simple step is going to allow me to create a unique column. Let me delete it. So we will keep testing it and make sure that it works. Now let's talk about updating. Okay. We're going to again do the same thing. Go to Excel Online. I'm going to say update a row. Okay. Select all this information that we need to select. Okay. Unique column. If you notice here, we don't have this UID column listed here. And that's correct because your file, we are assuming, doesn't have that column. We are creating that column in this particular step. So what you need to do, you need to go here, click on enter custom value and just type the name of the column that you are creating using the script. It should be the same name. Okay. And for the value, So what I just did, I just hard coded. So what I'm saying, first run the script, create that unique ID column, and then wherever you find this ID, I'm going to update cost to 100. Okay, it is 50 right now. I'm going to update it to 100. Now, before I start, run it and test it, one thing that you need to understand, because we are updating the Excel to add the unique ID column, if I immediately after that run this update row, the flow is going to trigger an error and say that this column doesn't exist. So for avoiding those kind of scenario, what you need to do, you need to add another action, search for delay, okay, and I'm gonna delay it for 10 seconds. Okay, now I'm gonna test. Good, right? So flow got completed successfully, and now if you come back to our Excel file here, the unique ID column got created and the unit also got updated. Now the question, if you're gonna run it again, yes, you can run it again. This shouldn't be the problem. The script will just create the column. It is already there. It's just gonna recreate it. It's not gonna duplicate or change anything. Now what about the delete, right? So we are able to update. Now I'm gonna add another step here and search for Excel online, and I'm gonna select the delete row. Delete row and update row is very similar. The only difference is when you do the update row, it's gonna present you with all the columns that you have. If you use delete row, it's just gonna ask you the file information, the key column to filter, and that's it. So I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna select my location, file name, table, key column. It will show you right now here because we have already created, but remember one thing, because we are creating this column dynamically, always enter custom value and then type in the column name. Okay, and for now I'm gonna hard code the value here, save it, and I'm gonna run it. And this time I'm going to run it without deleting it, just to show that you can run it again and again. It shouldn't be the problem. Okay, so flow got completed successfully, and if I go back to my list, if I refresh, my first item has been deleted. Good, right? So this will help you to delete or update a single row, right? We are working on the one item update and one item delete. The only thing you need to know is the value of this your custom column, and that you can easily get it because you know it's a combination of 3 or 4 or whatever you decide. In my case, it's 3 column combination. So I can find that unique information and delete or update. What about the bulk operation, right? Okay, so now let's talk about the bulk update or bulk delete. So we have already created this unique ID column, but now let's say I wanted to delete or update all the enterprise segment and this particular product data. Okay, and I want to update the cost. Now, because I have lots of data in this Excel, it is really difficult to update one by one. So I want to use Power Automate to do the bulk update. And how I can do that? It's pretty straightforward and simple because we have already created this unique ID column. I will go back to my flow. Okay, and I'm going to delete this update, single update for now, and also delete. And then I'm going to add a new step. Now remember one thing, because we wanted to update more than one, so first I need to get all of those information. I cannot do the single comparison. So this time I'm going to select my Excel online, go to list row present in table, select my site and the location for the Excel file table. Okay, and then we're going to click on show advanced option, and now we're going to filter the information. Okay, and how I'm going to filter, we know that we have created a column that is unique. Okay, this column, I have created this column as a combination of this column, segment, and the product. Okay, and I wanted to filter this entire data where product is equal to enterprise and product is equal to peso. So what's going to happen here, if you look at this information, it has both the information. It has the name of the segment and also the product. So I'm going to use this column in my Power Automate. Now you might be wondering that why we are using like this. Why can't I use multiple column and filter it? You cannot, unfortunately. So as of today, you can have only one filter condition. in this filter query for Excel. So we have to work on one column, and because we are creating this column dynamically, we can have as much information as we want in this column. Okay, so I'm gonna say contain. Okay, so contains the name of the column. In my case, it's UID, comma, single quote. And what I want to do, I want to filter for enterprise and the product. Okay, so what I'm saying, filter this information where this unique ID column contained enterprise peso. But this is the function, contains column name and the value that you want to compare with. Let's save it. Okay, and another good point to understand, this list represent in table for Excel, if you go to the settings, if you don't do this part, what does happen, it's just gonna get the first 256 item. So if you are going to have more than 256, you can increase this number. Okay, this way you can get more than 256. Now once you have this list represent in table, now I'm going to use the same Excel online update row action. I'm going to select my location, file name, table name. Again, as you know, not going to select this. Instead, I'm going to create a custom and say UID. In the value, if you select that, and if you look here, your UID column is not listed, and that's correct because we don't have it. We are creating it dynamically, right? In this run script step. So how you can pass the value though? So what you need to do, select any column that you are seeing. It doesn't matter whichever. So select one column. Okay. Once you do that, the flow is automatically going to add and apply to each, because there can be more than one row that can match this particular condition that we have listed here. Contains. Okay. And then open this update row. So click here, click on this item, or you can just select that, Control C, so copy it, go to the expression, Control V. Okay, so this is how it look like. Item applied to each. This is nothing but this loop, so each row. And then here you can see the column name. So you need to replace this ID or whatever column you selected to your dynamic column and click OK. Now what you did just now, you actually pass a column value that actually doesn't exist right now, but you're going to create it here. Okay, and then what I'm going to do, I'm going to update the costs to 500. So in this case, all these items where the segment is enterprise, okay, and the product is peso, the cost should change from 10 to 500. Correct? Save it, test, and run it. It may take some time because it depends on number of result after that filter that you use. So as you can notice, there are 431 items that got discovered or filtered based on my filter condition. And if you look at the file here, you see all these things are getting updated to 500. As you can see, it's happening as we are checking here. Look at that, right? So this is the way how you can not even update a single record, you can even update the multiple record altogether. Okay, now let's talk about the delete. Okay, so delete is also very similar as we have seen update. You should be doing the same thing exactly how you did for update. I'm going to select the site, my library, file name, table, okay. Key column, as you know, you're gonna go to enter custom value and type in the name of your column, and the key value should be the same as we have used in here. Okay, I'm gonna delete this because we don't want to update. Now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna delete all of these record where enterprise and product is peso, because that's the filter that we have used. Okay, save it. Okay, so I have 45 items, going to delete all of them, and if you go here, it should start deleting, as you can see here, right? Okay, done. Awesome. So flow got completed successfully, and if I go here and if you see for, yep, so everything got deleted. I don't even have the enterprise anymore here. Awesome, right? Yeah, so this is the way how you can use Power Automate to update or delete one single row or in bulk. Thanks for watching. Please leave a comment if you have any question, and also don't forget to subscribe and watch other Excel video that will definitely help you. Thank you. Keep learning, keep watching.